Presently, UP Manila is composed of 9 degree granting units, a university hospital, a national health research facility, all located in 14 hectares of prime land in the heartland of Manila in the Ermita district. UP Manila's history may be thought of as having a four-stage development. A diaspora where the various units are scattered in Diliman campuses, a period of physical and administrative consolidation called the Health Sciences Center, a transformation into a university named UP Manila, and a spiritual birth following a reorganization in 1988. Prior to 1988, UPM derives its vision mission from a number of sources. During its inception, the first UP president, a foreigner, already envisions UP as a university for the Filipino. The UP tradition and culture have also been explicit about what UP should be doing and what its leaders have consistently underscored the institution's commitment to the values of academic excellence, leadership, truth, justice, freedom, and service to the nation. Although not codified and written in a single document, a clear vision has guided UPM constituents even before 1988. UPM's 1988 philosophy asserts that excellence, leadership, relevance, and service are compatible values in the university. Its commitment to excellence and leadership is embodied in its interrelated missions, which are to constantly strive to become an outstanding institution of higher learning, to provide the highest quality of advanced instruction and professional training, to engage in basic and applied research, and to produce outstanding scholars and practitioners in the field of health. Its commitment to relevance is enumerated in its mission and objectives of developing models in education and training responsive to the social aspiration and health needs of the people, in harnessing knowledge and skills to solve the nation's problems in health, in providing a national forum for the critical analysis of national health problems and the resolution, and in participating and influencing the formulation of national policies and programs in health. What are the proofs that UP Manila has been faithful in the pursuit of its vision and mission? For the sake of time, I will only show a partial list of UPM's accomplishments, which support the assertion that indeed UP Manila has done justice to its vision and mission. I am not after an exhaustive list. I simply want an indicative list. I also do not mean to pass judgment on the comparative merit of these accomplishments. Most importantly, let us not forget that what UPM has done this past century have not all been written in the record book. Rather, they are wrought by alumni whose individual efforts and contributions are unheralded because the motivation that moved them is nobler than accolade. Their achievements come as byproducts of and not the driving force of their labors. The first list is on contributions to excellence. These come in the form of institutional recognition for excellence. The passing rates of its graduates in licensure examinations, which indicate superior education, and the various professional awards received by its alumni, which again speak of the high-quality education they receive. UPM's track record of excellence in research is shown in the next two slides. The first of which shows the dominance by its graduates of the premier research honorific organizations and the breadth and volume of its scientific output. The leadership role of UP Manila is best exemplified in the following illustrative examples. This slide shows the leadership role played by UP Manila in the Department of Health. 14 of the 25 secretaries come from UP Manila. Likewise, in the top 12 professional organizations in the country, the post of president has been dominated by UP Manila alumni. UPM graduates provide leadership at the start of the establishment of many non-UP schools and colleges. This preference extends up to the period when these institutions have their own graduates to select from, a tacit recognition of leadership capability of UP alumni. To complete the assessment of UPM's contribution to the nation before and after the formal articulation of its vision mission in 1988, a partial listing of what may be taken as proof of relevance and service is given in the next slide. Starting with major health policies aimed at improving the health of the public, we have the 5 health secretaries from UP and their policy initiatives. The policies are all watershed steps in the continuing march towards a healthy Philippines. Additionally, there are numerous programs, past and present, whose major thrust is service to the public. The busy slide contains only a few of these. Aside from college and hospital-based community programs, there are UP graduates who, despite having advanced specialty training here and abroad, choose to serve communities away from urban centers, and in so doing, elevate the quality of care in these communities. Only a few of the hundreds such graduates can be featured here. And I'm very happy that one of these is in the audience today, Dr. Mario De Villa. To those not in the list, UPM is equally proud of them. From the foregoing, incomplete though it may be, what emerges is a university that has largely kept faith with its vision and mission. However, in the last quarter of its century of existence, the landscape around this national university has changed dramatically. When 2 of the oldest units are first established, the needs of the nation are simple. Under these prevailing conditions, the university responds, and the record shows that the response is timely, excellent, relevant, and for a time adequate. In the last 30 years of UP's first century, a burgeoning population, migration to urban areas, lagging economic development, an unresponsive and often destructive political system, ill-planned and permissive production of health human resources, and its consequence of outmigration result in myriad social and economic problems characterized by inequity, reflected in the state of the nation's health, among others. This changed landscape poses a different challenge to UP Manila in the next century. While excellence and leadership will remain as UPM's primordial commitment, the now challenge is relevance and service. It may be an excellent university belonging to the world's top or best 500, but it may be totally irrelevant to the nation and its people. It may provide academic leadership, but seed leadership in public service to others. It may serve the academic communities excellently and well, but its presence may be totally absent and not felt in community services. Michael Crow of the Arizona State University believes that there should be a fundamental rethinking of how universities should function in the 21st century, and that this function must include a more direct role in driving progress in society at large. The late Professor Antonio Gonzaga, former chair of the Department of Medicine, put it well when he said, and I quote, "The department's evolution has been characterized by a recurring confrontation between the ideals of excellence and relevance. The excellence that we aim for is often measured in terms of academic achievement. However, the people's need is our only yardstick for relevance. Thus, what may be academically excellent may be outright irrelevant, while what is irrelevant may not require excellence at all. Our success in the past and our task in the future will depend entirely on how well we resolve the paradox that dwell in these words." When the late Professor Gonzaga was Assistant Director of PGH, I was at the same time Chair of the Department of Medicine. One day I approached him and requested for additional respirators for the department. In reply, he asked whether I have any statistics showing that the overwhelming majority of patients who were placed in the respirator survived and were restored to normal health. He said that if that were the case, then he will give me the respirators. If not, he would rather put the money on medicines and other life-saving measures. At the time, I thought the decision was very revolting, and I called him Dr. No. In retrospect, I realized that this was the quintessential tension between excellence and relevance, which we in the university must resolve. In fulfillment of its mission of relevance and service, the focus should be the relevance of its academic activities to the solution of the nation's health problems and service by its graduates to the needy, underserved segments of the population. It is clear that the perspective to take for attempting to fulfill UPM's vision of relevance and service in the next 100 years is to review UP Manila's history in relation to success or failure of our country's collective health. As a public institution established and sustained by the Philippine Republic, UP Manila cannot but measure itself against its impact or contribution to the nation's overall health. This is not to claim that UP Manila has sole or even primary responsibility for the nation's health. This is to claim, however, that success or failure of UP Manila must be grounded on, among others, its role in helping meet the nation's health aspiration. UPM does not have a monopoly in serving the nation's health, but serving the nation's health must be a central feature of UP Manila's mission. UP Manila is a national health professions university. Therefore, its responsibility is the nation's health. UPM education can be likened to a commercial commodity. While the analogy is very distasteful, it is, however, the most appropriate because, first, the price of UP education is set well below the market price for such an education. It is able to offer that price because it operates contrary to the market principle. That is, it is state subsidized. For example, in the College of Medicine, the dean said the cost to the student is only 13% of the total cost of his education.